It has now been 4 days since the debacle at Sabina Park. It is now 3 days since Cricket West Indies president issued this press release on the screen. As an immediate step, I have advised the chair of the Cricket Strategy and Officiating Committee to convene an emergency meeting. I have extended invitations to 3 of the greatest batsmen ever, Sir Clive Lyde, Sir Vivian Richards, and Brian Lara. They will join past greats Dr. Shivnarine Chanderpaul, Dr. the Most Honorable Desmond Haynes, along with Ian Bradshaw, who already serve on that committee. So 4 days ago, there was a debacle at Sabina Park. Neither the players, nor the captain, nor the coach, nor cricket administration, nor Cricket West Indies administration has seen it fit to apologize to the fans of West Indies cricket and the supporters. It has been 3 days since they issued this press release, and we have not heard anything more about the meeting. The second line, the last 2 words, to convene an emergency meeting. In this day and age of Zoom, Google Meet, StreamYard, I would think that such an emergency meeting would have been spontaneous and would have probably happened Tuesday night, and would have heard from those great players. Would have heard what were the outcome of the meeting. Hello everyone, and welcome to the #1 cricket channel in the Caribbean. I thank you for being here, and I appreciate your company. I look forward to your interaction as we go through today's show. As I contemplate what the outcome of that meeting will be, my mind ran back to when we failed to qualify for the World Cup, the T20 World Cup in 2022, when we were beaten by Ireland and Scotland in Australia. And a similar approach was taken. I think a committee was set up that included, again, Brian Lara. But since that time, since those meetings were convened, West Indies cricket have gone lower. So as I contemplate what will be the outcomes of this meeting, there are 2 things that occupied my mind. The first one is the position of Darren Sammy as all-format coach and head selector. This approach was tried twice in the past by the ECB, England and Wales Cricket Board. In the 1990s, the mid-1990s, they tried it with Ray Illingworth. It failed miserably. In 2021 again, Chris Silverwood was given exclusive ultimate power over the ECB, that's the England Test team, the England all-format team. He was the head cook and bottle washer, meaning that he was the chief selector and he was also the head coach. That also failed miserably. It ended in losing the captaincy. Ashley Giles was fired. So there are precedents to one person being head cook and Bakuwasha. And I wonder if Desmond Haynes, Shivnarine Chanderpaul, and Bradshaw wasn't aware of this trend. Or is it that this committee just exists in name alone and Cricket West Indies don't really listen to the recommendations coming out of this committee? I would have loved to see some of the recommendations that is coming out of this committee that Cricket West Indies actually adopt. Was it they who recommend what we are currently doing now? If not, were they against it and Cricket West Indies still go along with it? I would really like to hear what the director of cricket has to say. And why do you need to add another 3 voices? You call another 3 individuals. And although you call for collaboration and togetherness, all the persons you are adding to this committee are cricketers. You want collaboration from the fans. You want collaboration from government and civil society. But your committee is made up of only cricketers. So where's the collaboration going to come from? And where do you expect the togetherness? As I said, is it that Cricket West Indies is sitting on a throne and just issuing instruction to its loyal servants at its feet and expect us to carry them out? So as I contemplate what will come out of this committee, that was the first thing. Will this situation with Darren Sammy being the all-format coach and head of selector, will it be revolved? And then we will now have what we usually have, a chairman of selector, a selection committee, as there is division of labor, as we saw practice in all other test play nations across the world. There's division of labor between selectors and head coach. That is one of the things that I think they should change. And I hope that recommendation comes from this committee. Again, I'm disappointed that we have not heard a report from the committee as yet, because it's an emergency and it is not business as usual. The second thing that I contemplate as I wonder what comes from this committee were the comments of Brian Lara a few days ago, a week or so ago, on a podcast in England. In part, he said, you have a lot of guys who are deciding on what to do with their careers. There are 5 or 6 leagues around the world, and they are able to make a substantial amount of money playing in them. I have no problem with that, said Brian Lara. The truth is, I don't think West Indies Cricket Board or the administration has done, I don't know how he separated them. I think it's one and the same, or probably he's speaking about political administration. I don't know. Has done anything meaningful to keep these players loyal to West Indies cricket. Unlike what boards in countries like England, Australia, or even India have done. I don't know why he said even India, because India is a real powerhouse when it comes to money. Instructive in what Brian Lara is saying there. And I am on record as saying the players should get more money. However, my caveat to that, players who are averaging 30 and mid-20s should not even be getting the amount of money that they are getting right now. They are not producing at the level to get the amount of money that they are getting right now. And these players, especially those in the test team, are simply not marketable. When you look at the test batting lineup for the Savannah Park test match. Michael Louis, John Campbell, Kevlin Anderson, Brandon King, Ruston Chase, Shea Hope, Justin Greaves, Jamel Warrican. Which one of those are commanding a substantial fee from franchises across the world? Which one of those are making more money playing franchise cricket than representing the West Indies? Maybe Hope. I think some time ago, Brandon King got a contract. And as I said that, I don't remember if it was 700,000 or 70,000 when he had that wonderful year for the Guyana Amazon Warriors in the CPL, and he got a high PL contract. I'm wondering, I know it was a 7 at the front, but I don't remember if it was 700,000 or 70,000. So to say these players should get more pay, I think that context needs to be added to it. It cannot just simply paying underperforming players more money. Yes, you may look at Puran, Hetmeyer, Andre Russell, and said that they command a substantial fee on the franchise circuit. But that is just 3 of many. And none of them were playing in the test match. I put it to you that if these players had quality, if these players were averaging in the 40s, I could agree that they should be paid more. But at this present performance level, they don't deserve it. They don't even deserve what they are being paid. Yes, they sign a contract and they should be paid what is in the contract for this test series. But come October, when the retainer contract is renewed and so on, Cricket West Indies must ensure that they are giving retainer to contract to persons who are producing the goods. I am on record of saying that I'm not in favor of this contract thing, of this retainer thing just for retainer purpose. I'm not in favor of that. Persons should be retained because they are producing. Will you get up and pay an employee every day that is not producing? These players are not producing. So fine, it is good to pay the players more if they deserve it. But are they really deserving of it? And you recognize that I leave out the bowlers. So we are not nitpicking here. I leave out the bowlers. Tell me, do they deserve of it? And so it is a misconception and a misperception to anyone who believes that these cricketers can get even a county contract the way they are performing. And I heard people saying all the while, we need to play county cricket. I made a point earlier this week that you just don't get up, jump on a plane to England, knock on a county door, and say, I'm here to represent you. First, you have to have quality. You have to be solving a problem for the county. And if you are not solving a problem for the county doesn't need you. So you have to have that quality. You have to be offering something for the county. You have to be offering something for the franchises around the world to want you. So you just don't get up and think that you are going to be a T20 star and you don't want to put in the effort for Cricket West Indies. And that Cricket West Indies should just pay you. So as I contemplate what is going to come out of this emergency meeting, and probably it's no longer an emergency meeting because we have heard nothing. So I'm here of the opinion that this meeting has not been held as yet. I checked my email up to this morning. I have heard nothing. So it's no longer an emergency meeting because for me, an emergency meeting would have already happened. So those are the two things that I'm contemplating as I look back at what should come out of this emergency meeting. Definitely. And why I came up with the second one about the increased pay, the increased money, is that Lara is on that committee. And I hope if he's pushing this position, he recognizes that it is not simply a matter of paying these players more. Money alone don't keep persons in a job. No. And there's a trend, and many experts who studied these things are looking at Manchester United's salary cap. And they are thinking that is the amount of money that Manchester United are paying players. Why you get such a lethargic performances from Manchester United players, which saw them finishing 15th in the English Premier League last year. So we must be careful about the amount of money that we pay players. They must perform to earn it. And those are the two things that I've been looking at as I wondered about this meeting. I was about to come to your comments, and I recognize that the likes on the video are just simple 16. So therefore, let me go on with the show and the rest of things that I had to say this morning. Now, the next thing I want to talk about this morning is that there's an ongoing war. Well, there's an ongoing battle between Cricket West Indies president and the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Some of you would have known, or maybe most of you, that the St. Vincent and the Grenadines government have planned what they call an Emancipation Cricket Festival. Yes, they have planned what they call an Emancipation Cricket Festival. Now, since this festival have been planned, there's a lot of to and fro between Cricket West Indies president and the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So the Prime Minister have criticized Cricket West Indies' lack of support for the Emancipation Cricket Festival, accusing the board of trying to sabotage the event and intimidate players into avoiding participation. And I just summarize the articles. You can find the articles. There's a lot written about this. And I don't quite know what the Prime Minister is saying there about intimidating players. I don't know if he's alleging that CWI is threatening the players not to participate in it, or is telling the players are encouraging players not to participate in this Emancipation Cricket Festival. But the Prime Minister have criticized Cricket West Indies. Mark you, the president of Cricket West Indies is also from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and he is involved in politics in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And there again, majority of persons are saying the president of Cricket West Indies should not be involved in politics. He needs to choose one way or the other. And maybe if the president of Cricket West Indies was not involved in politics, would probably not having this all-out battle between him and the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So there's this Emancipation Cricket Festival that is scheduled to be held in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the Prime Minister is accusing Cricket West Indies of intimidating players and trying to sabotage the event. Those are very, very strong words. I do not know what you have seen to say those things, but I'm just giving you a summary of what is happening. However, Cricket West Indies president labeled the event a big circus, and he was also implying that it was politically motivated and clashed with official CPL and Cricket West Indies timelines. So there's what the Cricket West Indies, it said that it clashed with official CPL and Cricket West Indies timelines. And to be fair, West Indies will be playing Pakistan on those dates coinciding with the tournament, because the tournament runs from the 31st of July to the 3rd of August. And you know that West Indies will be playing Pakistan on the 31st of July and on the 2nd and 3rd of August in Fort Lauderdale. So it does clash with the West Indies timeline when it comes to our matches against Pakistan. But on the other hand, can we say to a government of any country that they cannot celebrate emancipation in the way they see it fit? So yes, it clashed with those timelines. But the government has a duty and has the privilege and the rights to celebrate their emancipation the way they see it fit. But I do not know which official CPL timelines that it clashed with. The Prime Minister responded by calling for the resignation of the Cricket West Indies board. Not only the president, but the entire West Indies Cricket Board, the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let me say that again. The Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is calling for the resignation of the entire Cricket West Indies board, citing poor test results, declining public trust, and a failure to manage players' relations. The Prime Minister is dead right there now about declining public trust, poor test results, and a failure to manage player relations. This is true. And so here's the Prime Minister calling for the entire board to resign. Not only the president, but the entire board. But Cricket West Indies president fired back. This is really interesting. I just love it, isn't it? I just love it. Telling the Prime Minister to shut up his mouth about cricket unless he significantly improves local sports infrastructure. So Cricket West Indies president is saying to the Prime Minister, shut up your mouth. You know nothing about cricket. Don't talk about cricket. What right you have to talk about cricket? You need to improve the infrastructure in the country. Aren't you just loving it? I'm loving it, aren't you? But again, it comes back to the point that politicians should not be involved in cricket, in West Indies cricket business. And I think the current president should make up his mind whether it's going to be West Indies cricket or whether it's going to be politics. We have since heard that the CPL have withdrew endorsement of the festival. Yesterday I've heard that they had endorsed the festival. But this morning I'm hearing that they have since endorsed, declined to endorse the festival. And the Prime Minister is also saying that the Cricket West Indies board have been acting disrespectful. So those are some of the things that is going on in cricket West Indies. You know, again, I will just check to see what it is like in the comment section. What if there's sufficient likes for me to come to your comment, because I really want to come to your comments. And again, I'm seeing there is just 20 likes. We need to get the likes up to 50. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about this morning. In recent times, there have been an issue surrounding a West Indies cricketer. I have said on this channel that I will not talk about I've made a statement on this channel about the issue. And I've said then that unless there's further development, I will not say anything more on the subject. Now, I know that the player is not included in the West Indies T20 squad. And the next few days are going to be very interesting for me. I don't know if he's a part of the West Indies team operating as a net bowler or he's no longer in the camp. I don't know why he should be kept in the camp, though, because it's a home series and you already have 15 players in the squad. And as you move from territory to territory, you would have net bowlers comes in. So the next few days are going to be very interesting. But yesterday I received a message. I received this message and I cut out I just concentrate on the first two paragraphs. And what I've done is to screenshot it. But I thought that I should bring it to the attention of this committee, because this is now a further development and the issue. So the lawyer of the player has written to the person who wrote the article in the Kayarta News. And these are the first two paragraphs of what Kayarta News is reporting. I think the person's name is Royal Tony. That's his name. And so this was sent to me yesterday. Today, by mail, I receive a lawyer. Let me go again. Today, by mail, I receive a lawyer's letter from attorney at law Dexter Todd, from the company Dexter Todd and Associates law firm, demanding that I cease and desist from publishing any article relating to sexual assault allegations against their client, a Guyanese cricketer on the West Indies team. You would recall that in my statement, I clearly asked two questions. And one of the questions was, why hasn't the player instruct his attorney to put a stop to these allegations? So I don't know if he was listening to me, because he does listen to the show. He rate the show. He respect me a lot, because that player, I did lobby for him to get into the West Indies team when he was a practically unknown. And so I don't know if he had copied the instruction that I said on this show that he should do. But nonetheless, that's the first paragraph. Mr. Todd, referring to my column, Monster in Maroon, published on June 26, 2025 in the Kayarta News. As he was instructed by the cricketer, has no legal or factual basis. So the cricketer has told the lawyer to tell Mr. Tony that his article has no legal or factual basis, but at the same time admitted there has only been one. Interestingly, admitted that there has only been one official allegation made to the Guyana police force against the player, which was investigated, but he was not charged. So therefore, this is further development now where the cricketer have taken steps now and instructed his lawyer to stop these allegations. And he would have answered the question that I asked, why isn't the cricketer taking steps to let these allegations cease and desist? And so that's a further development on the issues. The next couple of days are going to be very interesting. I don't know if the player already landed in Guyana, or if he's not yet landed in Guyana, what will happen when the player landed in Guyana? So these things are very instructive. It's very interesting times. We have the report from that emergency meeting, which we have not heard anything about, so we don't know if that meeting has been held as yet. We have no apology from the West Indies, from players, captain, coach, administrators. No apology from them about the debacle at Savannah Park. The meeting has not yet been held, to the best of our knowledge, because I would hope that if it was an emergency meeting, it would have been held already. Cricket West, this is serious time, and those meetings need to be held. And two things, as I said, coming out. I hope that we don't see a raise in salary of the players, and I really hope that we now go back to the stage where we have separation of duty and we don't have the head coach being the selector, but there's a clear separation of duty. So I hope those things come out of. I hope those things come out of the meeting. We hope that the Prime Minister and his countryman, the President of Cricket West Indies, find a way to solve this issue. I have asked someone to see if they can make contact with the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to come on the channel so that we could discuss it. I have not yet gotten a reply. And so, and I hope that this issue concerning the sexual allegation of the West Indies cricketer, that somehow the right things will happen and that there's a solution come to this matter. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that more persons would have actually hit that like button, but it is only 33 likes. So as I said, going forward, we really need 50 likes before I can really, but it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of effort to bring this show. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy being here with you. I also enjoy interacting with you. But I ask you to show your appreciation by just hitting on the like button. If you're not seeing the like button, click off the live chat. You'll see the thumbs up button. Click on it. So I'm saying, I enjoy being here with you. I enjoy bringing the information to you. I enjoy you watching, and I appreciate it. I enjoy the interaction. But I'm asking you to just simply click on the like button, which doesn't take a second. And despite the large number of you here, only 38 persons have clicked on the like button thus far. And I think that is on the fear that I should not really be reading comments without persons showing some appreciation, enough persons showing appreciation. Over 212, and it's just 40 likes. It's not. I'm just asking for to show some appreciation, and then we can get on with reading the comments. At this stage, we are seeing only 47. So but those are the three things that really I want to discuss this morning. As it stands now, I'm probably not going to go to Savannah Park because I'm in negotiation to do a project on Sunday. So at this time, I'm not quite sure that I will be going to Savannah Park for that match at this time. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, Orlando Paul. Envoy, good morning. Mr. Casanova, good morning. Kemtant Ramatar, good morning. He's asking when is the meeting. I thought that the meeting would have happened long time ago, because this was from Tuesday that they were. I believe that the meeting would have been convened from Tuesday night to the emergency of the situation. But despite the president saying togetherness and collaboration, we have heard nothing more about that meeting. I cannot tell you. Good morning, Sheldon, the champion. Good morning. Sunil Kumar Singh, good morning to you. Emergency meeting will not resolve this issue. But Sunil, one of the things that I always, and there's a time for optimism, there's always a time for optimism. What is it that you think will resolve this issue, Sunil Kumar? Talk to me now. Talk to me. Talk to me. What do you think will resolve this issue? Because you are of some pessimism there. My point is that we come here from a day-to-day basis. We talk about West Indies cricket. We give our ideas. We suggest things. And while most of what we said will probably fall on deaf ears, we may just say something that changed West Indies cricket. So I do not have an issue with an emergency meeting. I can't. Because you hope that something in that meeting will change something. It never changed anything in 2022, but you still have to have hope that it will change something, So, so Mr. Casanova, Cedar Bryan needs to cut out a lot of fat out of their leadership and invest more of that money with the bowlers and at the grassroots kiddies cricket. Too many chief and not enough Indians, said Mr. Casanova. And as you said that, Mr. Casanova, one of the things that the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines have called for is a forensic audit of Cricket West Indies. Something like what the Auditor General in Jamaica, she will do from time to time. And a forensic audit is not only about auditing the finances. A forensic audit is about auditing the responsibility and the roles of each players. So the forensic audit will say, well, you don't really need Mr. Brown because that job is being duplicated by Mr. Casanova. And the amount of money that you are paying Sheldon to do this job, you don't need to pay it. Sheldon can go, and then that can be what's the word? Move it to another department. So that's what a forensic audit does. It not only concentrate on the funds. So, Mr. Casanova, that's a good point that you're making. Good point. West Indies should have created a better ecosystem for the upcoming players, the champion. I would like to hear more about that. I would like to hear more about that. Ainsworth Irish is asking, where is the patriotism? And I'll just take 30 seconds to try and see that, and try and see if it, because you see, Ainsworth Irish, I wish he would try to come up with some solutions more than try to guilt person. It's projection, it's manipulating, it's guilting, it's gaslighting. He's asking, where is the patriotism? I am assuming that Ainsworth Irish does not criticize his government. I assuming that whatever country he lives in, he's satisfied with all the service that is provided in his country. And he dare not to say anything about the service, whether it is substandard or not. Because for him to say anything about those services, he would not be patriotic. I assuming that Ainsworth Irish, no matter what happens, no matter what his children does, and let me say this because I'm not disrespecting anyone here, no matter what his children does, because he loves them, he doesn't critique them. He doesn't try to guide them. So because he loves them, he doesn't punish them. He doesn't take measures to bring about a behavior pattern that will be acceptable in society. He does none of that. Because if he does that, he would not love them. If he critique the services in his country, he would not be patriotic. So, Ainsworth Irish comes here trying to guilt us, trying to gaslight us, trying to manipulate what we said, trying to make projections that we are not patriotic because we criticize Cricket West Indies. Ainsworth Irish, it's unfortunate that that's your mindset. And that mindset is brought about because what the Cricket West Indies president said, that what he said to Andrew Mason. So that is the mindset that is brought about, you know. Sammy failed in T20 as head coach. Now he failed in all formats, said Victor Darney. And that statement has some credibility, of course. Andre Holmes said, they aren't thinking. You said something I was thinking about. Regional business should be in the discussion, said Andre Holmes. Yes. You know, Will Simmons is saying, Lara might be right, but this is just a small part of the overall problem. Just paying them more money won't fix the West Indies problem. And Will Simmons, he may be right, but HR expert will tell you that persons always want more pay. If you own a business, Will Simmons, you will know that your workers are always asking for more pay. And they will take it. But more pay won't necessarily keep the workers. More pay. There are a lot more things that need to be done to keep workers. And why would you pay workers who are not producing to earn what they are being paid? Because remember, you know, as simple as you think, you know, when you go to work, you know, if you're not producing more than what you're earning, the boss doesn't want you, you know. Because you have to produce to pay yourself. You have to produce to pay the bills of the company. And you have to produce to pay the boss. And you have to produce so that the company can invest back in itself. So are West Indies cricketers producing enough money for West Indies to get bigger advertisement contract, bigger sponsorship for the front of their shirt? Because when they start produce and the bigger media rights dealers start coming in, when they start produce and bigger shirt sponsorship deals start coming in, when they start produce and bigger signage at the ground sponsorship start coming in, then there will be more money for them. But they have to produce to earn. In my opinion, what we are paying the West Indies cricketers right now, they are getting too much pay, especially the test team, you know. Yes. Sheldon said, I would have been satisfied if I had lost with last year's team, said Sheldon. A lot of persons are saying that, you know. A lot of persons are saying that, oh, you know, last year's team, the team that won against Pakistan, and the team that won in Australia, at least they have what it takes, because you would have heard a lot of time that losing is a habit, winning is a habit. This team had won in us last year. Team had won in Australia, and it had beaten Pakistan. So there's a lot of truth to that. John P. Nicol, John P. Nicol, it's a pleasure to have you here, John P. Nicol. What I really want from you, John P. Nicol, you know, John P. Nicol is saying, Carlton, you destroyed Curtis' career. Are you happy now? What I really want from you, John P. Nicol, is for you to send me your email address. You know, don't hide behind the keyboard, John P. Nicol. Please, sir, I am humble, begging you, sir, to send me your email address, your correct name and your email address, sir. Don't hide behind the keyboard by saying, Carlton, you destroy Casey Carter career. Money only motivates mercenaries, said the champion. Jefferson, Andre Holmes said, CARICOM needs to step in and disband the current Cricket West Indies board. You know, Andre Holmes, I am not in favor of that, and I don't want politics to mix with the cricket. And I can see where you're probably going with it. But for me, I clearly do not want politics to mix with the cricket. So I would definitely not be in favor of CARICOM coming in and dissolving the Cricket West Indies board. I think that it may have a more serious implication. 69% of you agree that Brian Lara is right. The cricketers should be paid more money. But where should that money come from? That's a question I'm asking you now. Where is that money going to come from? It's not going to fall off a tree. The cricketers have to earn it. And I list the things a while just now that when the product become better, and this is their personal responsibility, you know. This is their personal responsibility. Just like how Sharika Jackson would get a contract from Grace or Scotiabank or whatsoever. Well, I shouldn't call in those names. It's the same way that when the cricketer improve the product. So now, the 69% of you are saying that they should get more pay. Oh, if you personally have a business, would you sponsor a team that is being bowled out for 27? Would you sponsor a team that is ranked 9th in ODI and in tests and 5th in T20 international? Maybe 5th in T20 international? The money that is paid to the players is what Cricket West Indies earn. And if Cricket West Indies does not have a product to sell, Cricket West Indies cannot earn any money. And the product that Cricket West Indies have to sell is the performance of the players. And if the players are not performing, the price that Cricket West Indies can charge for that product decreases. the logo that you see, the brand that you see on the front of the Indian team, the Indian team is getting 500,000 US dollars per match for that branding across their team. Because they're a quality team. I don't know how much the Australian team is getting. Qantas is paying the Australian team, or how much England is being paid. But I doubt if West Indies is getting 50,000 per match for that branding across their shirt. I doubt it. It would be interesting to know. So I'm not interested in CARICOM. Jefferson Baccaran said the islands now needs to go separately. No Olympics for West Indies. I don't know about the last part of that statement because that's not the information I have. But as I say, things evolve every day and I do not always know everything. I don't know if that's, to the best of my knowledge, that's not true, that there's no Olympic for the West Indies. I would have explained how the process is going to work again. So I don't know. But the first part of the question, Jefferson said, Baccaram is saying that the islands need to go separately. They're separate ways. I have always said it. This is not the place to say it. It's not then what you need to do, Jefferson, what's the country where you're from. What you need to do is to write a letter to your government, to your cricket board, and get a lawyer to put up an online petition for your country to leave Cricket West Indies. That's the way to go about it. Write to your cricket board, write to your government, get a lawyer to put an online petition for Cricket West Indies, for your country to leave West Indies. That's always my suggestion to everyone who said that their country should leave the West Indies. That's always my suggestion, you know. And Ashwan Cambridge saying, guys, please just hit the like button. Oh, thank you very much for Ashwan. Yes. Thank you, Never Isaac. I appreciate it. Thank you, Never Isaac, calling for the approach. We need a whole system approach from the ground up. Yeah. Wesley McPherson, I think I met Wesley McPherson at Savannah Park. It's a non-starter. Viv doesn't get along with Clive and Lara doesn't get along with Viv, said Wesley McPherson. So probably that's why the meeting has not been held as yet. And, you know, one of the things, you know, Wesley McPherson, I said this at the top, I would really love to see some of the recommendations that is coming out of the present three, Dr. Ains, Ian Bradshaw, and Shivnarin Chandapal. I would really love to see some of those recommendations because I would really want to know how many of those have been adopted and implemented. And if they're really meeting, how often do the three of them meet? How often does Cricket West Indies consult with them? All of these things we need to know. The president talk about collaboration and togetherness. So let it not be just only be words. Let it be practical and reality. Greg Marad said, even if they pay them, they will still fail. Agree with you. You know, so I'm not going to read those type of comments Sunil Kumar Singh because I'm not into that. Good day, SOS Music Labor. How are you? Thank you very much for you. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much. Mr. Larouk, you said that statement has some credibility. Mind expounding, please? I've made I've read a number of statements this morning, Mr. Larouk, so I will happy to explain what I meant and by you identifying which exact statement. Good morning to you, Steve Allen. I like the passion you have for West Indies cricket. I enjoy your show. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Steve Allen. I appreciate that. Nice compliments. Thank you very much. Jersey sale might be a mechanism for bringing in more money for players. It is, Andre Holmes. But how many persons you see in a West Indies jersey? Are those jerseys, where are those jerseys available? It appears that those jerseys are the hardest thing to sell, are the hardest thing to find. But yet still, we do not see a lot of persons in West Indies jersey. You look at the Guyana Amazon Warriors playing, and Providence is packed with persons in Guyanese jersey. You look at the Trinbago Knight Riders playing, and they are packed with Trinbago's Knight Riders jerseys. When the West Indies is playing, do you see any West Indies jerseys? 1 and 2 if you look very, very good, you know? So where are they? Or is it a case that persons are just not interested in buying them because the team is not performing? But that's a big way. But jersey sale will increase when persons start performing, you know? And a man, and Andre Holmes, one of the things about jersey sales, players can negotiate in their contract, you know, and this is something that I don't have an issue with. So players can negotiate. So Ruston Chase can negotiate in his contract. Each player can negotiate this. 15% of all jersey sale, bearing all jersey that I sell, that every jersey that has the number 10 in its back and Chase on its back, 15% of that is mine. So this is something that players can negotiate. They are not selling the shirt literally, but their performance on the field will determine how many shirts they sell. You know, why you think players like Messi and Ronaldo and those footballers get so much pay? It is because it is negotiated in the number of jersey that they expected to sell. You know, so yes, that's a way players can benefit. By performing on the field, people will buy your shirt, and you should negotiate in your contract with Cricket West Indies a portion of each jersey that is sold with your name on it. Red and Green Advil, how are you? Are you following the Guyana the Global Super League? Yes, tomorrow is the final. Is tomorrow the final or today? I may be doing a watch along on the final because Guyana is in it. So I will. It's highly likely that I'll do a watch along on the final. I don't think that's the point that the person is making though about Mr. LaRoque. I don't think that's the point that he's making, whether we'll win or lose, but they just don't think that we would have been disgraced in such a manner. And the point that I made, that last year team would have beaten Australia, so they know. And anybody in sport will tell you about knowing, and I've done it. It's a much different thing than trying to do it for the first time. People in sport will tell you that. But I don't think the point the person is making is that we would have won, you know. So we truth set you free, bless up to you, thank you. Yes, man. No, we are not going to give up on West Indies cricket, you know. Although we are here critiquing West Indies cricket, we still are for West Indies cricket. A lot of peeps in the Caribbean goes by countryman and feeling. They forget about what best for win this cricket. SOS Music, we do not tolerate insularity on this channel, and we don't want it, you know. I always said to persons, and I know a lot of persons are listening to me from Montserrat, Dominica, Barbados, and so on, from all these islands. And it is something that I said on this channel a number of times. And I always said look at Jamaica, you should not call a Jamaican insular. I have asked the Intersecondary School Sports Association to provide me with the numbers of students from all over the Caribbean, from all of those countries that will be coming to school in Jamaica September morning. All of those parents from these countries were so happy that their children will be coming to Jamaica September morning, and those who are here. And I always said, ask those children how they are treated in Jamaica. Ask them why so many of them don't return home for the summer break or the Christmas break, but prefer to stay in Jamaica. Ask them why so many of them don't go back to their home country but settled in Jamaica, and even if they go back to their home countries to visit. Ask yourself why they do this. Ask yourself if the Jamaican people were insular, why they allow their taxpayers' dollars to go towards building the capacity of these students from other islands in the Caribbean so that they can be better person and able to contribute to society. Ask Julian Alfred if while a student of St. Catherine High School in Spanish Town, Jamaica, if she ever encountered insularity. Ask. Just ask yourself that. So if this is happening in the other countries, don't bring it to Jamaica, because we accept the children of the Caribbean in our institutions year after year. The Jamaican people tax dollars pay for them. They benefited from the skills of our coaches and our educators. The last time I checked, more than 200. Please, we must cut it out, and I'm not going to tolerate it on this channel. I'm going to start blocking persons who try to incite it on this channel. I think I've given fair warning. Ask them. Ask them. Ask the parents who are so happy that their ward or their child is heading to Jamaica September. Ask them. Ask them. You know, so please let us cut it out. We need to cut it out. We need to cut it out. And that is why it is so difficult, because when Cricket West Indies president says, when he said it, I don't know if he recognized the magnitude of the ants that he's trying to stir up. You know, Butarana Celestine is saying that we lost because of poor selection, you know, and he's citing some players. This is an ability problem, not a salary problem, Carl Diaz. Calling for money is the easiest thing to do when you have no answers. If you can bat, you will make runs. If you are getting paid, $1 single. Yeah, that is so true, Carl Diaz. And if you can bat, then franchise will also want you. Eh? Franchises will also want you if you can bat. But why no franchise want these batsmen? Why? Why? Why no franchise? You ever think about that? Why no franchise want them? Because they are not batting, you know. The champion say, you think should represent us in the who you think should represent us in the Olympics. I think my understanding is that if the is it 8 or 6? I know they published it the other day, either 8 or 6. If it's 8 teams that is being included in the West Indies, and at the time West Indies is ranked 8, is ranked in the top 8 in the ICC table, then we will have our own tournament. They will use a tournament in the Caribbean, and whosoever win that tournament will represent the West Indies. It goes something like that. I hope I explain it. But it's a tooth here. I think first West Indies have to rank in the top 8 in the ICC, and then we determine by some tournament who represent the West Indies from the Caribbean. Jermaine, how are you, man? Good afternoon. Good to see you here. You know I'm not going to call that name. As with West Indies cricket, but I'm loving it. I am an England cricket fan. Thank you very much for being here. Davadan Singh, prayers for our West Indies team. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Tahir Mohammed, I'm now joining. Thank you for being here. Rodney Sharma said, you are quite correct. It is the board to be blamed for the situation of West Indies cricket. Yes, Rodney Sharma. Never Isaac is saying, I suggest the Guyanese players should consider the involve salt pepper in their diet. To involve salt pepper in their diet probably would prevent him from going down the dark path. Oh, okay. okay, Never Isaac. Just got you. That's my high school, said Sheldon Simmet. St. Catherine High School. Great school. That produced Prime Minister Golden. No, it's Prime Minister Holness. I think it's Prime Minister Holness that went to St. Catherine High. Isn't it so? Is it Golden? I think it's Holness that went to St. Catherine High. Sheldon? Yes. Thank you. So, T.R. Mohammed, listen, our batsmen have been failing. That pitch in Jamaica was clearly a bowler's heaven. It is simple. If West Indies bowlers can do it, Australian going to do it better. Thank you for that, Tari Mohammed. I don't know exactly how to interpret that, but thank you very much. Thank you all for tuning in. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. Have a wonderful day.